Welcome to How to Play Space Lion, a card game of battling armies from Solus Game Studio, designed by Chris Solis. In this Learn in a Turn video, you'll learn as the game plays, in one turn, or two, or as many as you need. Feel free to navigate the chapters so you can learn at your own pace. If you want to view a specific rule from the game, you can find the list of rules in the description below. Have a question or something nice to say? Leave a comment. Overview. As the commanding officer of your army, carefully plan your attack to defeat your opponents and defend your towers. Once your defenses are down and your HP taken out, you are eliminated. Setup. Space Lion has 4 unique armies to choose from. The Adaptive Leon army has the ability to level up and nuke. The Complex Energia army knows how to harness energy and tech. The Persistent Kudzu army will take root and control the enemy. Finally, the Hidden Vacuous army will attack from the shadows. While there are 4 armies, there is both a blue set and a red set for the Leon army. In this demonstration, we'll play out a game with 3 players. These armies are the Leon, Kudzu, and Vacuous. Go ahead and take control of the Kudzu army. While everyone else sets up theirs, gather all your army's components, a set of cards, 3 tower tokens, and a player board, and 10 Kudzu tokens. First, place your player board in front of you. Then, take 7 units into your hand. The other set of cards will be 7 hero cards, which are the upgraded version of your units. Each player selects a hero and places it face down. For you, go ahead and choose Orion. Once all the players have selected their hero, reveal it and replace the unit card with the same strength, which is the number on the top left corner, from your hand. The rest of the hero and the replaced unit cards are returned to the game box. Since you're playing with the Kudzu army, place the 10 Kudzu tokens nearby. Next, place 3 HP tokens on their spots on the player board. Take the 3 tower tokens, place 1 between you and the player on your left, 1 to the player on your right, and 1 in the middle. These will be the lanes that you'll be placing your card on. Finally, 1 random player gets the priority token. For this example, let's say that's you. The game will play out in a number of rounds. Each round is divided up into 4 phases: planning, placing down cards; reveal, flipping up cards; battle, checking each lane for wins and damage; and defeat, check when a player gets eliminated. So let's get into the planning phase. This phase begins with the player with the priority token. The turn pass goes clockwise until all players have a turn. Here, you can deploy up to 4 units and do 1 planning effect. There are 2 ways you can do a planning effect. One is to use the planning effect printed on your board. Your Kudzu tokens give you a 1 strength to the lane it occupies. It stays on the lane between rounds when you win or clash in a battle, but all Kudzu tokens return to your garden if you lose. Let's use it. Place a token in the left lane. Oh, you still need to deploy units. When deploying your unit cards, you can place any number into 1 lane. Just remember, you only get up to 4 units to deploy each round. Let's place 3. 2 on the center and 1 on the right. Alright, now, Vacuous takes the planning phase. First, they deploy 4 units. Their planning effect allows them to place a Void token on 1 of their units. The Void token allows a special effect to be activated when it's on a card, but they choose not to use it this round. Vacuous is done, and now it's Leon's turn. Leon deploys 2 units. Then, they send a unit to the planning area so they can activate their player board's planning ability to deploy 3 Marine tokens. Leon sends 2 to their left and 1 in the middle. Now that all players have gone, the next phase is Reveal. This is done in 3 steps, which all players do simultaneously. Step 1. Return any exhausted units on your player board to your hand. There aren't any since this is the first round. Step 2. Move a card from your player board planning area to your exhaust area. Some units were played onto the planning area, so they move. Step 3. Now is the time to flip all units on the battlefield. The Vacuous do have an ability called Shadow Play, where they only flip their card when it resolves in battle. With the cards revealed, the battle phase will begin. The player with the priority token gets to resolve in any lane, in any order, one at a time. This includes any lanes that they are participating in, and any lane in which they are not participating in. You resolve the middle lane first. The Vacuous player reveals their units on this lane. This reveals the artifact unit. When revealed, open the red door. The red door card is now flipped. Any void effects are now active for the Vacuous army. Each lane resolves by following these 4 steps. Step 1. All battle effects resolve, first with the player's units who have the priority token, and then with each player in clockwise order resolving theirs. Your Kudzu Gardener and Palm Warrior both have battle effects. First, you use the Kudzu Gardener's battle effect to deploy 2 Kudzu tokens on this lane. Then you activate the Palm Warrior's effect. Exhaust 2 Kudzu units in this lane to make each enemy player exhaust a card from their hand. Both Vacuous and Leon send a unit to their exhausted area of the player board. Exhausting the units means the cards in the exhausted area are not able to be chosen during the next planning phase. The Vacuous is up next to activate their unit's battle effects. The Mari card has an active Void battle effect. Once per round, move this unit to another lane. Mari is sent to the Vacuous left lane. Now that all battle effects in this land have been resolved, we move on to Step 2. Total each army's strengths in this lane. Your Kudzu has the most strength and wins this lane. Going on to Step 3, all losing armies receive damage. Damage is received by the towers first, then directly to their HP token on their player's board. Since both players have towers to start with, both of these tokens are flipped to the damage side. Finally, in the 4th step, cards are sent to hand or returned to exhausted. Armies that have 1 unit in a lane is considered solo. These return to the owner's hand. Vacuous has solo units, so they return to their hand. You have 2 units, which means they are a group. Units in a group are sent to their owner's exhausted area of their player board. Leon's Marine tokens returns to their board. This lane has fully resolved. Again, the player with a priority token can resolve the next lanes in any order. Let's go for your left lane this time. You only have a Kudzu token here. Vacuous reveals the Allured Kudzu. First, battle effects resolve. The Allured Beast does have its battle effect, change an enemy unit to become 0. Its Void effect is also active. The changed enemy unit becomes limited. You may have Allured Kudzu become persistent. Uh-oh, looks like your token strength is now 0. For the battle results, it's your Kudzu at 0 and Vacuous at 0. This is a clash. No one wins, and neither army's towers get damaged. Before this lane finishes resolving, your token becomes limited. In other words, it becomes exhausted. The Vacuous chooses to have the Allured Kudzu remain on this lane since it has the persistent effect. Okay, let's resolve your right lane next. First, resolve battle effects. Your Overgrown Sage battle effect is exhaust any number of Kudzu tokens on the battlefield. Looks like there are none currently. The worker has level up 1 card wherever it may be. Leon can choose to pick a card from their hand, on the battlefield, or any card on their player board. They choose the mech on the unresolved lane. They search for the level 2 replacement in their side deck and swap those cards, returning the level 1 unit to the box. Now the battle resolves. Your Kudzu has 6, and the Leon only has 2. You win again! Leon's tower is damaged! The Overgrown Sage and Worker return to their owner's hand. Leon's Marines return to the barracks on the player board. One last lane to resolve between the Vacuous and Leon armies. Battle effects resolve in player order from the priority token. The Vacuous has an effect on their portal ship. Any battle effect is optional to activate, and the Vacuous chooses not to activate the portal ship. Mari does have an effect, but right now it doesn't since it's already been used. Now, battle strength is determined. Vacuous has 9 versus Leon with 5. Vacuous wins and Leon's tower is damaged. Finally, the cards return. The Vacuous lane is grouped, so those units are exhausted. Leon's mech goes back to their hand since it's soloed. All lanes have now been resolved, so we proceed to the fourth and final phase. Defeat check. Any player with 0 HP tokens on their board is defeated. But all the players in this game are still at full HP, so we can just move forward into a new round. Before doing so, the priority token moves clockwise to the next player. Round 2. In this round, the Vacuous will begin with a priority token. The Vacuous will first perform their planning phase. The Vacuous will use the planning effect of the Centistede by placing it in their planning area. The Centistede's effect reads, when you are resolving battle effects in a lane, even if you have no cards present, you may deploy this unit from the planning area to the lane being resolved. Finally, for you place 3 cards down. Then you place a card on your planning area so you can use its planning effect to deploy one of your tokens. Planning is complete. Now it's the reveal phase. Before any of the cards are revealed, all units in the exhausted areas are returned to their owner's hand. Then, any cards in the planning area are moved to the exhausted area. Last thing in this step is to reveal all units. Remember, the Vacuous revealed during the battle phase. Time to resolve each lane. The Vacuous will first resolve the far lane from them between you and Leon. Leon activates their battle effect first, which is every unit with 5+ strength, including yours, becomes 0 strength and limited. Unfortunately for them, this doesn't take effect. Now strength is determined with you having 3 strength and Leon only having 1. You win this lane, and you damage Leon's tower the second time, so it's discarded. Your Mushroom Mule has the effect, if you win this lane, choose an enemy unit in this lane and switch it to your side for as long as it remains on the battlefield. It becomes persistent this round. Exhaust this unit at the end of the next round. Since there are 2 units on your side in this lane, your Mushroom Mule is grouped and becomes exhausted. The Hacker remains on your side. The middle lane is chosen to resolve next. The artifact gets revealed. The red door flips open. You have the only battle effect to resolve. Orion's effect is, every unit with 4+ strength, including yours, becomes 0. Deploy a Kudzu token in this lane for each affected enemy unit. This affects Leon's mech, and you deploy another Kudzu token into this lane. Total strength for the middle is totaled. You win this lane, and both your opponent's towers are damaged once more and are destroyed. All armies have solo cards in this lane, so they are returned to their owner's hand. Vacuous resolves their right lane next, and they reveal their unit, the Allured Caster. Battle effects resolve starting with the Vacuous choosing their Allured Kudzu to resolve first. Your Overgrown Sage's strength becomes 0. The red door is open, so the Allured Caster gets its effect. If this card is solo, clash. A clash would mean that no army will deal damage. But, since it's grouped, this effect does not happen. Battle effects are optional, so you could use this effect if it was to your advantage only as well. The Vacuous wins this lane, and you take damage to your tower. Your Overgrown Sage is affected by the Allured Kudzu's limited effect and becomes exhausted. The Allured Kudzu stays for its persistent effect, but the Allured Caster is exhausted because its lane is grouped. It's time to resolve the last lane. Vacuous uses the Centistede's effect to deploy it into this lane. Leon's Worker uses its effect and levels up a unit wherever it may be. They choose the Marine in their hand. It's good to plan ahead. The final strength in this is Vacuous with 2 strength and Leon with 0. Vacuous wins the lane, and Leon's final tower is destroyed. The Centipede and Worker returns to their owner's hand because they are solo. The round is over, and there are no defeated players yet, so the priority token moves to the next clockwise player. Round 3. The planning phase starts with Leon. They place a card to activate their player board's planning effect to deploy 3 marine tokens. They then deploy 2 unit cards. You're up next, and you deploy 4 units. Vacuous deploys 3 units and uses their planning effect to place their void token, guaranteeing one of their cards gets their void effect, even with the red door closed. Let's reveal. All the exhausted cards return to their owner's hands. All planning cards goes to exhaust. Then units are flipped face up. Leon resolves their left lane. Before any battle effects take place, they choose to use their army-specific ability, Nuke. All battle effects in that lane are negated. All units in that lane are exhausted, and that lane clashes. Brutal. Next is the middle lane. The Marine has 2 battle effects, and they can be used in any order. You in the middle lane, and both Vacuous and Leon take damage. Without a tower to defend, the damage is dealt directly to the enemy base. Leon's right lane resolves next, and the Vacuous now reveal their face-down units. The Marine has a battle effect that places 2 tokens onto this lane. Vacuous has 7 strength, and Leon has 5. Oof, not enough! The Queen card has a battle effect that is active due to the Void token. If you win the lane and are grouped with your Centipede, deal double damage. The Leon army takes 2 more damage to bring their base's HP to 0. The defeat check will happen later in the round, so for now, the Leon player continues playing normally. The last lane resolves. The Alert Kudzu makes the Palm Warrior 0 strength. With a 3 strength, the Vacuous wins and destroys your tower. Now that we have defeated an army during the defeat check phase, remove all the units, tokens, cards, and the board of the eliminated player. Goodbye, Leon. It was an honor knowing you. 2 lanes will combine into a single one between the remaining players. Move any tokens and units that may be there. The tower tokens in this case are now in the same lane. The priority token is passed to the next clockwise player. The game continues on. This concludes the Learn in a Turn video to Space Lion. If you'd like to know more about this game, please visit solusgamestudio.com. Video animation was provided by the Cardboard Stacker. Good luck!